Good morning students, a very hearty welcome to my channel. In today's class, we are going to see some programs which are from the chapter data handling, and we will be using some commonly used operators for solving those questions. So let's move on. The very first question which you can see over here is write a program that reads a number of seconds and prints it in the form of minutes and seconds. Example, 200 seconds are printed as 3 minutes and 20 seconds. So how are we supposed to do it? So we have 22 seconds and it has to be converted into minutes and remaining seconds. So how do we get that? We have 200 seconds in hand. So these 200 seconds can be converted into minutes by first dividing it by 60, because we know that 1 minute equals 60 seconds. So we can write uh, if I want to just change it, that is I am just going to reverse it. 60 minutes equals 1 minute. 1 sec. I'm just writing it in a wrong way. 60 seconds, which equals 1 minute. We can write 200 seconds equals 1 by 60 into 200, which is 200 divided by 60. So if you divide 200 by 60, so you will get 6 multiplied by 3 is what? 80. So if I write 60 into 3, I should get 180, which will give me 20 as the remainder. So we get 3 minutes and we get 20 seconds. So dividing a number by dividing the total number of seconds by 60 will give me the number of minutes, and extracting its quotient will be the minutes and extracting its remainder will be the seconds. So now if I only want 3.0, because if I use normally if I divide, it will take up point values in points. That is, the answer would be like this and so on. So I don't want the values after the decimal point, and for this we know we have a very nice operator, that is the floor division operator. So we can use the floor division operator for extracting the quotient, which will be the number of minutes, and we can use the remainder operator for extracting the number of remaining seconds. So let's write the program and see. I'm going to open a new file and I'm going to save it. So let's write the program. First of all, I'm going to ask for the number of seconds from the user. Then I'm going to write minutes. So for this, I'm going to write it. If I want to extract the number of minutes, I will write. This will give me Then I'm going to write remaining seconds. So for that I'll take another variable, and I'll finally print let us run the program and see. So number of seconds 200. So I get the answer in this way. Now how does the output statement work? So let me explain this to you. So we have the statement over here. So number of seconds. So these are the seconds which are entered. Now you can see that this seconds is not enclosed within any code, since it is the dynamic part. Then this part is the static part. Then this minutes is again dynamic part. Then this part within double quotes is again the static part. Remain seconds dynamic part, and this seconds is again the static part. So here you can see that you get the answer in this way. Whatever is the value of seconds followed by the static part, followed by again the dynamic part, number of minutes, then the static part. So this is the answer. So this is how whatever value you give here, that is, if I change the value this time, maybe I can take a different value, 500 seconds. So it gives me 8 minutes and 20 seconds. So every time the static part will remain the same, and only the variables, that is the dynamic part, will change its value. So this is how you can make your output of the program more descriptive. We'll take another question today, that is, write a program that reads from the user an hour between 1 to 12 and number of hours ahead. The program should then print the time after those many hours. So, and the output is also given here. Enter hour between 1 to 12, that is 9. How many hours ahead? 4. So, it should print what? 1 o'clock. Right. So, how am I going to get this? So, let us do this. So, how do we get it? So, we can see it is written here, enter hour between 1 to 12. So, if it is 9, how many hours ahead? 4. That is, if I add 4 to this, it should become 13. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Time would be 1 o'clock. So, this 1 o'clock, how did we get? We had to, because we know that it is a 12-hour format which we are following. So, we will divide this 13 by 12. 12 ones are 12 and 1 is left as the remainder. So this remainder has to be extracted for this value. If we just verify our output, if we take the case of 14, that is 14 hours. So you divide 14 by 12, you get the remainder as 2, that is 2 p.m. Similarly, you take 15, you divide 15 by 12, you get what? 3, that is 3 p.m. Understood that? So this is how we are going to do it. Okay. So let's do this program hours ahead. So let me first ask from the user how many hours. So here it is, enter hour between 1 to 12. So I'm entering it in the same way. Next is how many hours ahead. So I'm taking ahead by for that. And finally we have time at that time would be. So we will print. I'm directly going to print the answer. So I'm going to write hours percent ahead by. Sorry, one second. Hours plus ahead by. This whole thing should be within brackets because I'm going to first add the number of hours and then I'm going to take the print percentage of it, that I'm going to take its remainder. So it would be 12 and o'clock. So let's run the program. There could be glitches. If it is 9, one second. Some problem, my value didn't get printed. Yes. How many hours ahead? 4. Time would be 1 o'clock. Let's run this program for any hour in between. That is, I write 5. How many hours ahead? 4. So it would be 9 o'clock. That is the simple way. Okay. So this is how we are going to write this program. So if it is 9 o'clock, how does it change? So now hours, we had originally entered 5 and forward by 4. So this thing percent 12. So 9. So what should be the remainder when you are dividing it? So if I divide it, it will be 9 itself. So that's why 9 o'clock. One more question we will see. Write a program to take two inputs for day, month, and then calculate which day of the year the given date is. Which day of the year the given date is. For simplicity, we will take 30 days for all the months. Now, for example, the input given is day 3, month 2. It should print day of the year 33. That is, if I write it as day 3 and month 2, and considering each month has 30 days. So how are we going to consider this? So month is 2, that is if it is the third day of the second month. So 1 month is already there, the first month. It contains 30 days, and in the second month it is the third day. That means I should, if I add 30 plus 3, I will get 33, 33rd day. So for this it should be whatever month is given, we have to deduct 1 from there. That means month minus 1 multiplied by 30 plus day. So this will give me the correct result. So let us do it. So I'm going to save it. Day of year. So first I'm going to ask for month. which month. Then I'm going to ask for the day, which day. Then I'll write here so here I'll be writing it is the dash day of the month. So for that I will be writing it as month minus 1 into 30 plus day of the year. So we just run it. Which month? Second month. Which day? Third day. So 33rd day of the year. So this is how we can solve this question. So students, that's all in today's class. We will be seeing some other programs in the next class.